Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Our event will formally commence very soon. So now, can I please invite everyone to take a seat? Thank you. 各位来宾，我们的活动马上就要正式开始了，所以现在请大家先入座，谢谢。Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So before we formally start, some housekeeping rules. Firstly, as you've noticed, there's a path here, and we are doing live streaming for this event in the afternoon. So ladies and gentlemen, let's try not to stand or block this path here. And for the restrooms, do you know where the restrooms are? So let's follow that instruction. The arrow points there, so you can find the restrooms there. Over there. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to the Australian New Zealand E-commerce Summit. My name is Nicole He, and I'm very delighted to MC this event for you. The summit is hosted by the Australian New Zealand Buyers Association, supported by Taobao Global and Tmall Global. It is designed to assist Australian SMEs and brand owners to navigate the e-commerce landscape in China, including updates on recent market developments, new ideas and strategies, adopted by existing ANBA members, and of course, tips, tricks, and insights for new entrants. This year also marks the first anniversary of ANBA. The association is one of 6 Alibaba's Taobao Global representative organizations worldwide, and the only one responsible for bridging Australian New Zealand brands and products with the Chinese market. Today's summit, so just briefly tell you about the agenda. We will start with speeches and presentations from 3 keynote speakers. After a tea break, we will host a signing ceremony as well as to celebrate the first anniversary for ANBA. And of course, just mention the tips, tricks, strategies. We'll also share that in this afternoon. Now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Kevin Zhang, President of Australia and New Zealand Buyers Association, to the stage. So Kevin has worked in the field for 7 years. He has been successfully working with Taobao Global and been a consultant to Australian New Zealand brands. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Kevin Zhang.
Thank you, Nicole. Thanks everybody for coming here. We should be having this event a year ago with more friends joining us, and with Taobao Global's guys from the headquarter coming all the way from China to here to meeting with you guys. But because of COVID, we didn't do that. But now we're so glad that we can continue. We were supposed to do last year and introducing us, Taobao Global, and also Tmall Global to you guys, and see how we can help you guys get bridged with the Chinese customers. So today, my topic is a brand's journey in the Chinese market, and specifically on how Taobao Global can help ANZ brands in developing the Chinese market. Can we move the second page? Yeah, let's just be patient for a little while. Yep. Well, David is always curious about my background. I used to do modeling back in China. 2009 to 2010. Anyhow, right, let's get started. This is weird. Eric, can we move to the first page? Well, ANBA is actually set up by Taobao Global. So we are, as Nicole said, one of 6 Taobao Global's internationally representatives, and we are the only one here in Australia and New Zealand to helping Australian brands. Okay, now a little bit background of how brands are doing in China, how international brands were doing in China. You guys all know about this, right? Trading and marketing. On trading, we'll do e-commerce platforms, not just Alibaba Group, but JD, Pinduoduo, these platforms, and open flagship stores on the platforms, working with distributors. On the marketing perspective, brands will do social media marketing, KOL endorsements, PR events. This all just fundamentals. You guys all know, so we'll just give a quick introduction of how brands were doing things in the Chinese market. But what we're all going to focus on was what makes it hard for ANZ brands, especially for SMEs. So for the e-commerce platforms, not like Alibaba Group, not like us, the other platforms, they don't have international branch, so which makes it the gap, the communication gap between the brands and the platforms. Especially when you talk to the platforms also working with international brands like people from America, from European, from Japan. So they were very hard. It would be very hard for them to focus on just your brand. So there's a gap. And flagship stores for SMEs, it will be a little bit hard to get a budget ready to open the flagship stores. And distributors, when you talk to them, I assume a lot of you guys already talk to distributors. You will be continually talking with them about the budgeting, about margin, sorry. And on the marketing perspective, on social media platforms, we have WeChat, Little Red Book, TikTok, stuff like that. It's always hard to find which ones are useful. KOL endorsement, still a little bit more expensive than the social media marketing, so budgeting is another issue. And PR events, it's always hard. We always need to find the right audience to join the PR events. So these are what makes it hard for the ANZ SMEs to enter the Chinese market. So because of that, there's us. Here's our role with Taobao Global, and here is our role with the brands. We partner with the brands, then we report to Taobao Global. As Taobao Global's ANZ representative, we help brands connect with the ANZ Taobao buyers. We help brands connect with the Chinese distributors. We help brands with trade marketing. We support brands with online and offline events. We support brands with warehousing and drop shipping and give brands the market feedback. And in the meanwhile, we seek the potential brands that can meet Taobao Global's brand selecting criteria, so they can help us to connect the brands and products with more Taobao global buyers internationally, and give us Taobao apps traffic support, supporting brands with bigger offline events in China, and also give us data feedback. So that's the role of us and Taobao Global in helping the brands in the Chinese market. And here's what we do to help the Australian SMEs. We do a three-phase brand success solution. So on phase one, we're going to work with the brands to develop the C2C sales channels, which is the Taobao Global buyers. And we're going to make sure that our objective is clear. Do we want more stores to list our products, or do we select the stores and give all the support that we have to the stores to boost sales? And then we move to phase two. In phase one, the brand's going to do a little bit trade marketing investment, and phase two is the time the market can pay back to the brand. We're going to keep focusing on boost the sales with the selected stores, and in the meanwhile, we'll track more stores' attention to join our network with the sales impression of the selected stores. Once we've done that, we move to phase three, which is grow big, grow into a big brand in China. We keep on boosting the sales with the C2C stores, develop B2C sales channels, flagship stores, and build up strong brand reputation, and seek the opportunities of working with the distributors. So this is our three-phase brand success solution. And this is what we do exactly. When we do C2C development, we do four things. We help brands work with Taobao Global buyers. We work with the Taobao Global buyers with live streaming. We give them traffic spotting to the buyers, and we support buyers and the brands with warehousing and drop shipping. On the other hand, we do a lot of official events with Taobao Global. So today is our first event, which should be held in last year, this exactly same time. But today is March. We do our first event of this year. April, we'll do new brand week with Taobao Global. In May, we'll do ANZ with Love. Hopefully, COVID restriction could be lose more, so we can do a big expo, so you guys can meet with more Taobao Global buyers and distributors. In June, we'll do 6/18 shopping festival. July, there's Taobao Global Buyers Festival. August, Taobao Global's Merchant Expo. September, Taobao Buyers Conference. October, there's ANZ Master Buy. And not to mention Double 11 and Double 12. In January, we have Spring Shopping Festival. So this is the agenda of all the events we're going to do throughout of the year. But more excitingly, we have this Taobao Global exclusive program called the Taobao Global Selected Brand Program. This program is the exclusive program that Taobao Global launched in 2020. With its 6 global representatives to help the international brands achieve bigger success in China by introducing the brands and products to Taobao Global's top buyers with committed sales target. So the role of us and Taobao Global in these programs are, we're going to actually purchase the products from the brand. We stock and supply the products, and we discuss committed sales target with ANZ's top Taobao Global buyers. And Taobao Global will introduce the products to globally top buyers and discuss committed sales target with them, and organize online and offline sales events to boost the sales. Lucky enough, we have now worked with a brand named EZZ. EZZ has been very successful, just being listed a few days ago. Very successful brand. We've been having discussion with this brand for months. with Taobao Global about brand selecting. We have internal discussion with the top buyers, and we're so proud to announce that EZZ is now the first Taobao Global selected brand in the ANZ region. And the sales target with Taobao Global is 10 million RMB, which equals to 2 million Australian dollars in this year. So we'll be very glad, and we'll be focusing on introducing more brands like EZZ to Taobao Global and keep working with them. Right. Get back to my topic today, which is a brand journey in China. I should talk more about the journey, not the not actually Taobao Global. But guys, China is too big that it can take any brands at any level. We have witnessed so many brands that hesitate and concerning about when and how to enter China with an ideal and complete marketing and distribution plan. But then days passed, weeks passed. In the time we wait, the competitors from Australia, from America, from UK, from Thailand, they're also making their moves. So by the time we wait, the brands were taking the market share. So I always believe to enter the Chinese market is always not a problem of budgeting. You can enter China with $1,000. You can enter China with $1 million. You can always do your thing with the money you spent. Whether you start from the C2C channels or B2C channels or B2B channels or combined channels, all you gotta do is, the most important thing is get your journey started. So Alibaba Group has 56% of the e-commerce market share in China, which is the biggest. And there's 44% left for other players. So you can either choose to play with the big players or the other players. But if there's one day, at one stage, whatever your stage is, and you thought of, hey, let's just talk to Taobao Global and see how these guys can assist us, we'll be always here in 39 P Street with our door opened. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kelvin. And ladies and gentlemen, now we'll connect to China. And we are connecting to Tu Xian Evan, the head of Taobao Global Alibaba Group in China. And a brief introduction to Tu Xian. He's very experienced in e-commerce industry and currently serves as the head of Taobao Global at Alibaba Group and is responsible for international brands engagement and collaboration on Taobao Marketplace. So let's see if we are ready here. 可以听到我说话吗？能听见我说话吗？我们现在已经看到，在荧幕上已经能看到你们了。我们这边的声音看一下是不是清楚？现在看到荧幕上好像，你们那边的那个声音是没有的。
喂，
好像现在有听清楚了，现在能听见吗？
喂，能听到吗？
能听见，我们能听见你们说话。
哎，好。
那行，那你们现在随时可以开始你们的 presentation。
哎，稍等一下，图先马上到，好吗？
好的，没问题。Okay, so let's wait for a second. Tu Xian is exactly on his way, so he'll be here very, very soon. Please enjoy the dim sum. This is a very nice restaurant, and we are very lucky here today. We have beautiful weather, beautiful view. And I think the dim sum is nice, isn't it? Well, I don't even have a chance to try it yet. Thank you, Kevin. You're so nice. All right, so I think he's coming very soon. 好的。Evan 现在是马上就要过来了吗？ 好的，现在大家先享用点心啊。So ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the dim sum first. Right, ladies and gentlemen, when Tushan is on his way, please enjoy the dim sum and the drink here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now it looks like Tushan is here. Evan, 可以给我们荧幕挥一下手吗？证明你听得见我们说话。给我们挥一下手可以吗？你好，你好，我们现场的来宾都非常期待您的演讲，都非常期待您。
大家好。
哎，你好，你好。那现在我把接下来的时间交给你好吗？
好，可以。你们
好的。
能听到我吗？
对，我们能听得到，能听得清楚。
好，所以你们会用同声翻译是吧？
不是同声翻译，您就每一页您就说，然后说完以后，我简单的用英语给您说一下这一页的内容。
啊，行，明白了。
好的，好的。
那我就先开始了啊。
好，您可以开始了。
行，这个 PPT 我大概会花25分钟跟各位简单讲解一下，然后
So Tuxian said he's going to give the presentation. It may take about 25 minutes.
OK， 好，我是淘宝全球购的负责人涂先，然后今天由我为大家简单介绍一下我们淘宝全球购。那淘宝全球购这个平台呢，是从2007年就创立的，在淘宝里面的一个专注于进口的一个市场。
So, firstly, briefly introduce Taobao Global. Taobao Global was set up in 2017, so it mainly covers areas of all the import products.
OK， 然后澳大利亚和新西兰呢，我们这里统称为澳洲。所以在我接下去分享的整个 PPT 的过程中呢，我们会比较多的用澳洲这个词来总称澳大利亚和新西兰的整个市场和数据。
Because to Chinese, they think Australia and New Zealand, they're the same country. So in the following presentation, Tuxian will mainly use the word Australian.
那整个澳洲的市场，我们看到现在中国的消费者是非常喜欢购买澳洲的品牌商品的。那其中比例最高的是我们现在看到是美妆，有40%的澳洲的品牌成交来自于美妆。那第二就是我们澳洲的奶粉。
All right, so for the Chinese consumers, they fancy the first thing they fancy is the makeup products from Australia. So it takes about like 40% percentage, and the second product is milk powder.
当然，我们也看到澳洲非常奇特的商品，就是我们叫滋补，中国老百姓叫滋补，里面包括了蜂蜜、鱼胶、海参这样的商品。那在全世界范围内，消费者最喜欢购买的也是澳洲原产的此类滋补商品。
Okay, so the product he's talking about is some nutritional product, like honey, 鱼胶是什么？Fish maw, yeah, something like that.
OK， 那在整个澳洲地区，其实我们现在已经有超过1200家的品牌商、贸易商以及我们淘宝的海外买手，专职于销售我们澳洲的品牌商品。那在全中国的范围内，每年有超过200万的用户在长期购买我们澳洲品牌商的产品。那尤以北京、深圳、上海和杭州的用户，整个体量为最多。那同时我们也看到，澳大利亚加新西兰的品牌在去年总共完成了大概7亿澳元的整个商品进口量。
Okay, so as Tuxian mentioned that there are more than 1,200 shops operating in China now, so they're exporting Australia products to China. 好，您可以继续。
OK， 那其实我刚刚讲到，淘宝全球购是2007年就成立的一个购物平台，根植于淘宝。那整个平台呢，我们的最重要的2个使命就是帮助海外的中小品牌尽快进入中国市场。第二个呢，我们希望淘宝全球购成为整个中国地区华人创业的首选平台。
好的，图显，请你继续啊。
OK， 所以在这个平台上面呢，我们有自己明确的使命。那我们的使命呢，是根植于整个阿里巴巴体系的整个大愿景来的。阿里巴巴最近的一个全球化的使命中有5个大的组成。那淘宝全球购作为全球买的一个核心成员，我们和天猫国际共同负责整个海外品牌的商品进口。
好的，现在给我一点时间。
其他的。
现在给我一点时间，我把刚刚的内容给翻译一下哈。So Taobao Global is the largest cross-border e-commerce platform in China. It established in 2007. It's a dedicated cross-border e-commerce channel for SMEs, the first choice for overseas Chinese entrepreneur. 好，现在您可以继续。
行。好，当然，整个阿里巴巴的全球化分成了5个部分，包括由 Lazada、AE 等组成的全球卖的整个中心， 也包括由蚂蚁金服、由支付宝组成的全球付的中心。那还有以我们菜鸟国际来负责的全球运的能力，和最后由我们的飞猪完成全球游的整个项目规划。所以全球买、天猫国际和全球购两个平台共同来承担。那在未来很长一段时间内，我们希望基于淘宝全球购的这个业务模式，帮助更多的海外中小品牌可以以更高效的、更低成本的方式进入中国市场。那在成长以后，我们期望他们去天猫国际进一步拓展自身的业务。
All right, so under Alibaba globalization, we have global sell, global buy, global pay, global delivery, and global fund. So together with Tmall Global, they're hoping they can expand worldwide. 好的，您可以继续。
淘宝全球购其实从2007年成立，当然我们也经历了非常多的变化。那最近这几年呢，有几个比较重要的里程碑的事件。那第一个呢，就是2016年淘宝直播开始盛起，所以淘宝全球购体系里面，我们有大量的买手是以直播这个模式向中国的消费者推荐他们的商品。
All right, so there are quite a few stages for the development of Taobao Global. In 2016, live streaming becomes very popular. So nowadays, many Taobao store owners, they sell their products through live streaming method. 您可以继续。
那你重新等一下，我稍微再重新投屏一下 PPT。那你现在能看得到我们的 PPT 播放吗？
现在能看到了。
当然，我们也看到，其实，在2016年，我们的整个直播业务升起以后，平台的成长增速是非常快的。但是那个时候，我们主力销售的其实是全球的知名品牌的商品，而到2018年，我们也发现消费者对于海外的中小品牌、新品牌的诉求更为强烈。所以自2018年开始呢，整个淘宝全球购的使命就从销售全球的海外知名品牌商品，而转型专注在中小品牌和新品牌的运营上。
All right, so from 2018, Taobao Global actually trying to focus on SMEs.
那到2019年，我们也发现是说，跨境保税模式已经成为中国进口非常重要的一种组成形态。那中国政府也是主力在扶持跨境保税的模式，所以从2019年开始，淘宝全球购也上线了自己的跨境保税体系。那经过1年的耕耘，淘宝全球购平台上已经有超过30个跨境的合作保税仓，可以提供相关的仓储和物流的服务。
All right, so now you can see the development to 2019. Taobao have this bonded warehouse mode.
那我们也同时看到是说，基于我们品牌和淘宝商家之间的沟通，其实存在比较多的障碍，无论是文化还是语言的差异，很容易让两边的整个沟通衔接产生一些沟壑。所以呢，我们平台也在今年新上线了一个叫淘分销的平台，以帮助我们的品牌商和淘宝的商家可以更高效的链接。
So in order to improve the communications between the Taobao store owners and the manufacturers in Australia, in 2020, so it's just last year, they applied Tao Fenxiao platform.
那整个淘宝全球购有今天的这么一个业务规模，我们的核心其实是源自于平台上的这些旅居在海外的华人们。这一批角色现在在平台上有超过13000人，那他们长期旅居在海外，在各个国家，那其中在日本、韩国、澳大利亚以及北美是最为核心的几个大区。那这些海外的买手是当前全球购 最重要的一批销售的主体。
Thanks to the Chinese buyers living overseas, so these buyers are actually the key assets of the platform. Now there are more than 13,000 buyers.
那这些角色也分布在88个国家和地区。我们在每一个大区都会建立对应的买手联盟这样的商业组织，协同平台来管理和运营这一批全球购最为重要的一些商家角色。
Now these buyers are living in 88 countries or regions globally, and that's why they have set up the Buyers Association to collaborate with these buyers.
那平台上的全球购的买手，我们现在整个分成了4大类。那第一类呢，就是在国内非常知名的网红，以雪莉为代表，他的粉丝群体已经超过了2000万，单场淘宝直播的成交规模在1000万人民币以上。
All right, so now KOLs are now very popular in China. The person we should remember is called Xue Li. So she has 10 million fans. So she's doing a lot of live streaming every year.
那第二类呢，是我们的买手中长期定点于某一些国家的，类似于我们的顶级买手小奶牛，那长期定居于匈牙利，所以他会主动推荐以北欧品牌为主的这些中小品牌和美妆品牌。
So the second type of KOL, they live in specific countries. Like Xiao Nai Niu, she's one of the top buyers. So she recommends a lot of products from the North Europe.
那第三类呢，是以小海绵这样的角色为主。那他们会根据平台的活动游走在各个国家之间。那平台如果在澳洲组织活动，小海绵这样的买手也会参与其中。
The third type of the buyers, Xiao Haimian, she's one of the representatives. So she can go to different countries to cover different events and recommend different products from different countries.
第4类就是像我们兔兔这样的长期在澳洲驻扎的买手。兔兔的淘宝全球购买手店开了已经超过10年，每一次直播的成交规模也在10万人民币以上。
Okay, so the fourth type of KOL is Tutu. Tutu is a local buyer in Australia, and so now her monthly income is more than 10,000.
所以这一些买手的角色是以直播这个形态为主要的零售方式，向中国的消费者推荐海外的品牌商品。那整个淘宝平台上长期专注于购买海外品牌的用户，其实有1.5亿人。
OK， 你可以继续。
OK， 那等我一下哈，整个淘宝平台除了我们的买手以外，当然还有更多的是普通的淘宝店铺。这一批群体总共有超过6万家，在我们整个全球购的体系里面。他们每年销售的成交体量超过25亿件商品。
Okay, so now as if you can look at the screen, you can see the stacks of the Taobao global merchants as well as the brands from different countries.
那整个全球购经过这14年的发展，我们的合作品牌总共达到了10.8万个，他们分布在以美妆、食品、保健为主的各个大快消品类里面，当然还有少量的类似于数码家电这样的品类。那整个品牌来自于115个海外的国家和地区。
Okay, again, the PPT has shown us the stacks that Tu Xian just mentioned. 好，您可以继续。
好，稍等。然后呢，那我接下去会给各位重点讲解我们平台上最为重要的2个模式，一个呢是我们的增新计划，就是我们的品牌孵化模式；第二个呢就是我们的分销中心淘分销模式。
Okay, now he's going to tell us about the 2 major models. So one is the brand incubation, the other one is distribution platform.
那中小品牌孵化模式是淘宝全球购从2018年开始重点扶持的这个一个模式。那这个模式我们有自己很明确的品牌招商的门槛。那对于品牌的基础要求，我们分成了几个大点。第一个是品牌有很强的入华意愿。那第二个呢是品牌的产品要非常适合中国的消费者。第三个呢，我们希望品牌有明确的在本地，比如说在澳洲或者是在中国两地的商标注册的整个权限。那最后一个呢，就是品牌需要在中国市场成熟度比较低，有很大的潜力，且支持多级授权。
Okay, so now it's about the incubation program brand selection criteria. As you can see that we have basic requirements showing there, bonus points and target audience.
那同时呢，我们也关注品牌实际自身的成长潜力，品牌在它当地市场是不是有比较高的知名度，品牌的营销特征是否明显，有没有媒体或者社会名人的背书，这一切都可能可以加速这个品牌在中国的成长。
您可以继续说。
OK， 当然我们也很希望这些品牌专注于中国的90和95后这样的消费群体，因为这一批人是现在整个中国电子商务市场里面消费的核心主力。所以如果品牌的画像是根植于90后的话，那么他们更容易获得年轻人的认同，然后由这批年轻人带动他们的长辈来进一步进行消费，所以这些品牌是更容易在中国市场里面快速成长起来的。
Okay, regarding the target consumers, we are hoping that we can focus on those who was born after 90s, because they are the major consumers in the China market now.
好，那整个孵化的模式就看这个图，可以简单的做一个示意。境外的中小品牌经由淘宝全球购的小二进行专业的对接合作，那会进入我们的孵化中心。进入孵化中心以后呢，有2条链路。第一条是跟商品相关的，那么作为品牌商，我们会给它匹配一个中国的总代，由这个总代完成跟淘宝全球购上面的买手和淘宝店的对接，然后再经过直播等形态跟中国的消费者见面。那另一条呢是下面这一条内容线，那我们希望呢品牌也能完成一些内容的种草的动作，以便这个品牌可以吸纳更多消费者的关注，以完成品牌的初期的粉丝积累。
Okay, the PPT here shows us a model like how you can become SMEs incubation program brand. 您可以继续说。
OK， 好，品牌在整个淘宝全球购年成交规模在300万人民币到1000万人民币之间，我们会认为这个品牌已经初步满足中国市场的基础认知。我们会推荐去天猫国际平台开品牌旗舰店，那同时借由品牌旗舰店向淘宝做分销运营。
好的，您可以继续。
OK， 好。那以这样的模式来运营下来，其实淘宝全球购整个2020年总共帮助了大概1500个中小品牌完成了从0到1的孵化。
好，您可以继续。
OK， 同时呢，这1500个品牌中有接近450个品牌，它的成交体量在1年之内从0到1000万成交，所以我们认为整个孵化模式是比较有利于帮助海外的这些中小品牌快速完成国内的基础运营和孵化。原因是整个淘宝平台上面，我们有刚刚讲过13000名的买手，那这一批群体都有自己数十万的粉丝作为一个运营的基数，所以他们会向他们的粉丝推荐这些中小品牌和新品牌的商品。这些粉丝和我们的买手之间有很强的信任关系，所以经由这一些淘宝全球购的买手进行解读的话， 这些商品很容易就进入我们消费者的视野，并完成初期的销售。由这些消费者成为种子用户，就可以快速带动这些品牌在中国的落地。
Okay, so in a word, this incubation model is actually very good for SMEs to grow from zero to a very good company.
所以我们非常希望更多的澳洲品牌和淘宝全球购平台之间产生这样的联系。我们很乐意于帮助澳洲的品牌找到自己合适的国内代理，也经由国内的代理完成初期的淘宝全球购买手店铺的链接，以完成初期的品牌种草。
So we are willing to help the Australian SMEs to open the China market.
好，那另外一个重要的模式就是淘宝的淘分销平台。那淘分销平台是我们淘宝全球购今年新上的一个工具平台。我们也发现海外品牌进入中国是非常困难的，所以整个中国的电商市场从2003年到今天，那我们也发现整个平台上面从业的淘宝商家是越来越多，但是淘宝商家又要负责自己发现商品的能力，又要负责自己运营商品的能力，是非常困难的。所以呢，我们淘分销平台就把我们淘宝店铺上面的商家所需要做的最重要的2件事情，第一个是运营和发现商品，第二个事情是运营和推荐商品，就是运营它的用户。我们把这2件事情做了一个拆解。
Okay, now the TPP shows about tile fun show, which means tile distribution. So firstly, you need to discover and operate the products that you would like to sell or recommend.
所以我们也看到，在左侧的供应链能力上面，包括了作为一个淘宝的商家，他需要做的选品、发品、仓储、物流以及售后等等相关的能力。那我们希望这一部分能力由品牌及品牌背后的总代来完成承接。
So they're hoping that the brand itself can have the ability to do the product selection, product listing, warehousing, logistic, and customer services.
那同时跟店铺运营它的用户相关的能力，包括它的开店、店铺的装修，包括店铺的内容运营、营销推广以及粉丝运营，我们会交付给这个淘宝的商家来执行。在供需、供销2侧进行拆分以后，我们也发现会有更多的海外的商家、华人以及国内的这些年轻人可以参与到整个电商的事业中，因为整个运营的难度会大幅降低。
Okay, so in terms of the store operation, it will be the responsibility of the Taobao stores.
所以在这样一个新的模式下面，我们也看到品牌商主要就负责经由国内的总代完成初期的品牌的筛选和引入，所以它的整个效率会大幅提升。那我们看到今年双11也看到部分品牌经由这样的淘分销模式，在短短的几天时间里面就完成了超过1000万的交易规模。那它的主要的合作形态就是品牌方完成初期的货品运营、货品的备货，然后平台会推荐最合适的买手去帮他零售，以直播的形态完成零售，最后由淘宝的保税仓体系完成所有的发货。所以这样的一个组合形态可以有效的帮助海外的品牌快速的完成国内的渠道关系的积累。
Okay, so as you can see on the screen, the stack shows that the Double 11. This tile distribution is actually powerful to help the brands to reach 100 million in just a few days.
那同时，今年淘宝全球购也有自己的目标。那我们期望今年能够帮助10万的华人在整个淘宝平台上可以来就业。同时，在未来3年内，淘宝全球购有一个自己的目标，我们期望能够做到1万亿人民币的整个成交。
Okay, so we are hoping we can create a lot of career opportunities for people, and we are hoping that we can reach 1 trillion RMB sales in 3 years.
那其实澳洲市场一直是整个淘宝全球购进口业务中非常重要的一个组成。整个澳洲市场平均的年增幅超过20%。那我们也期望有更多的澳洲品牌可以参与到整个淘宝的整个市场建设中。
So we are hoping more and more Australia brands can join the Taobao Global.
好，可以。那我的关于淘宝全球购的介绍就到这里，谢谢各位。
好的，感谢你凸显感谢，谢谢
好，
Evan， 谢谢你。
拜拜。
Thank you. Bye bye. Have a good afternoon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say I'm not a professional interpreter. So I hope that you all understand the presentation there. May I suggest if you want to know more about the Taobao Global and the incubation system, talk to Kevin. Kevin is here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to introduce to you the third speaker of the day, James Sung, Business Development Manager of Tmall Global, Alibaba Group in Australia and New Zealand. So James has joined the group from October 2016 and has been helping clients to develop their overall business strategies to China using various Alibaba platforms, including Tmall, Taobao, Alibaba.com and Alipay. He has 13 years experience in e-commerce, 6 years in pharmaceutical industry, and 5 years in Chinese cross-border business. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to James.
Hi, thank you everyone. Thank you, Kevin. It's great, great event. Good to see everybody here. Thanks, Connectics. Great job organizing such an event. Hard work. So my name is James Song. I'm the BD manager for Alibaba Australia and New Zealand. I may know some of you here. You know, working with quite a few of you, like going to China. So today I'm not going to bore you too much about how platform runs. I'm just going to talk a little bit about share the latest update about Tmall Global, what's happening there, and then if there's any questions, feel free. We'll have a panel discussion. We'll have Q&A section later. Okay, so can we go to the next page, please? This is yep. Okay, so we have Alibaba team. We have Australia, New Zealand. We have roughly about 50 people here, and half of them in Melbourne, half of them in Sydney. Tmall Global team, or whole team is based in Sydney, Australia. And then we are in Castlereagh Street, roughly 10 minutes walk from here. So Kevin Lee was the BD director. He's leading the team. He's actually his main focus is working a lot of new projects with Hangzhou. For example, Global Fulfillment Center, a new warehouse we're going to set in New Zealand. It's responsible from Kevin. So new project, new venture. You want to go to China? Talk to Kevin. Other than that, we have 3 BD managers. Robin looking after modern baby. Also, Keiko look after beauty, and I look after health supplements. So we also look after other categories as well. For example, pet, fashion is me, personal care is Keiko, and food is also Robin. So that's our team here in Australia. Next page, please. Next one. Yeah. So this is the latest trend that we're gonna share with everyone. A lot of questions we got from people asking about COVID, what's happening. Are we gonna do good? Are we gonna do bad? All this kind of thing. So please, next page. So from the right hand side, you can see actually the consumer confidence. They're still buying. Confidence is strong. Not many people, especially from our platform, saying decline or they're not gonna buy as much. Other than that, the other thing is we see a big growth in Taobao Global. Taobao Global. Other than that, Tmall Global, even Tmall Classic. So lots of growing here. But the major key takeaway is, there are actually a lot of opportunities happen in COVID. Say, for example, health supplements. So we see roughly about 300% growth there. So Other than that, house, home, they don't go out shopping too much. So they sort of moving that trend to online platform as well. So I think this is one of the, I would say, one of the biggest opportunity I've seen, from the cross-border, when they started 2014. Next page. So Australia, it's always, roughly about number 4, leading again. Japan, of course, Korea, they're very close to China. They're, KOL, they're celebrities, very, they're product very familiar with the Chinese customers. So they're always leading again. US, fashion, Nike, all this kind of, cosmetic, they're also very strong. Australia, organic products, okay, health supplements, skincare coming up, modern baby, infant formula. So we are very strong in providing natural, organic sort of, product to China. As you can see here, Swiss, Blackmore, Bio Island, of course, those are the, people probably know those brands pretty well. But this year from New Zealand, EZZ was doing pretty well. They start their Tmall platform roughly July last year. Then, they have tremendous, Singles Day after that. Geo Skincare also is one of the, brand I heard that actually they do a lot of, not only Tmall but also outside platform as well. So I think this is something that you have to pay attention when you go to China. Tmall is one of the platform. Okay, so distribution, other than Tmall, who you're gonna work with, how you're gonna grow there. If you grow one brand, one platform, this is very difficult. But multi-platforms, it's much easier. Okay, so next page, please. Okay, so this is just a highlight about Tmall. Here, Tmall Global, we have over 1,000 Australian brands, 400 from New Zealand. This is very interesting because New Zealand, I just checked the report last year. I mean, they're growing very rapidly. They're growing very, very strong. I think one of the things is, it's just taking off, but also, I think the nature, environment, and everything, and their sort of new products, boutique type of product start to coming up. In Australia, we see a lot of traditional, products, Swiss, Blackmore, from my category, but then new brands, new products, we just see the decline, a huge decline there. So I think New Zealand is doing pretty well over there in this year. So next page, please. Okay, so this is okay. Wow, this is surprising. So not supposed to show any of the numbers, but anyway. So this is a funny story. We were told December last year, no longer we're going to show those. So I thought I removed it, but anyway, everybody can see it. So this is, I think Alibaba is right now still leading again. We're the #1 cross-border platform. But I think what we focus on is not to grow GMV, is not to grow market share. Daniel Zhang, just recently, we have the internal meeting about next year project. We're trying to, hit bigger, but he said, this is not our goal. We're gonna bring new stuff, we're gonna build new things. So Tmall Global, actually, we have a lot of new structures gonna build this year. And say, for example, logistic. We're trying to, reduce the logistic time. Korea, Japan, 2 days. In Asia Pacific, we're gonna do like 5 days delivery. Australia, New Zealand, we're gonna build a new global fulfillment center. We're gonna start from New Zealand, and then all the product can go there, and then we can list on the platform. So once the product is sold, we can ship from New Zealand to China. So this is a good platform. So you can do a lot of long tail brands. You don't have to go into the bundle warehouse, all this kind of thing. So very exciting. So we will of course share a lot of those along our project this year. So this is one of the main questions people ask: Tmall Classic, Tmall Global. Where should I get into? How should I get into? This is really depends on your brand. Okay, cross-border in general, it's you put your product in the bundle warehouse. It's easier to get in. Say for example, health supplement. If you want to go to general trade, roughly 2 to 3 years. Might not be able to get the permit or license. Cross-border 2 weeks. So other than that, food. I think general trade is easier because cross-border is similar sort of process. So you really have to analysis, which model is easier. But for me, from the business perspective, I will go to Tmall Global first because you're competing with global brands. You're not competing with, some brand from Guangzhou, some brand from Hangzhou, and then the price point can be very hard to beat. So this is also important to choose your battlefield. Next, okay. So this one, Tmall Global, it's right now, I think this is, a lot of people think this is a platform, we're gonna go sell, we're gonna do everything, but this is actually much more than that. And I think one of the things is you need to build your team in order to serve, good customer. So Tmall Global, introduce you to a lot of different TP that specialize in e-commerce, business and intelligence analysis. They tell you how to do China, all the operation stuff. Other than that, a lot of people, they do live streaming. So live streaming, it can happen in a lot of Taobao platforms, but officially, what you're gonna happen? So a lot of people, buy traffic from Tmall Global and then induce, bring out traffic to Tmall Global for some sort of live streaming event. Say for example, I worked with Swiss a couple years ago for live streaming. I remember their product selling live streaming on Tmall Global official platform, 50% higher than Taobao. So, they use celebrities, use strategies, they give a lot of motive. So I think that's something marketing-wise, you have to, think about trying to use more about Tmall rather than your only sales channel. Next page, please. Keep going. Yep. Okay, so health supplement from my side. Okay, now I will introduce 3 of the key category: health, modern baby, and then of course food, beauty as well. So those categories are the key driver for us in Australia, New Zealand. This is the health supplement trend. I think I would first look at the ingredient side. MMM is one of the things that 12 months ago nobody know. Okay, no one understand how that works. But then there's a lot of brands, not from Japan, from US, Chinese brands. They actually start to push this sort of topic. Right now, it is the fastest growing, category on the health. So MMM, it's something that's just coming up. Another subcategory is CBD. Of course, CBD, lots of new brands coming out. At the moment, we just cleared the regulation. The ingredient, what we call THC, has to be under 0.3%. So once that cleared, so people can start playing. So you will see a lot of people promoting this brand. So this is a good opportunity as well. Other than that, I think we covered earlier, gummy, superfood. Why are we gonna, health, usually, before we just take the pills, right? That's Australia, big pills, 2 pills, 3 pills a day. But right now we're targeting younger audiences. They want smaller pills. They want it easier to take. They want it sweeter. They want to be able to mix the food. So this is something everybody else is doing. So I think this is also the trend that actually is gonna happen in China for us to sort of go into. OTC, of course, OTC, of course, it's this is highly regulated. You need a pharmacy license in here, and also you need some sort of authorization. It's quite a long list of complications, but if you have OTC brand, this is one of the fast-growing category as well. Talk to me, I'll show you through. Traditional honey, as Tushen just mentioned, this is something that we do, pushing very, very hard. Honey, ginseng, bee, bird's nest from Southeast Asia growing triple, 500%. So but fish maw is something that we have trouble actually getting them on Tmall platform. So Taobao, maybe they're doing very well, but Tmall platform, more regulation, you may need export license, you may need a certificate, health certificate, all this kind of thing. But this is one thing that's a missed opportunity. So if you have fish maw, manufacturer, brands, feel free to talk to us. Next page, please. Beauty, just remember one word about beauty is organic, what we call clean beauty in China. So this is something that I was trying to do so long ago, like 4 years ago. Clean, organic, all this kind of concept, nobody buys, okay? So this is, however, picking up very, very strongly. Maybe they don't want to, stress for their skin. They don't want to, so they start to learn about, clean beauty, organic beauty, all this kind of thing. Other than that, of course, you need to glamorously promote your product, working with KOLs, celebrities, all this kind of thing. Everything connect with KOLs, sales, okay? So ingredient, of course, this is something, if you have something new technology, high tech, as I mentioned before, CBD, also very, very popular. Next page, please. Okay, so this is mother and baby. So mother and baby actually, what happens right now? Platform is thinking. We actually see a sort of decline in the newborn babies. So what happens is after 4 years old will become a major sort of market. Before 4 years old, declining. After 4 years old, so milk powder, supplement, infant formula, all this kind of thing will provide maybe or educational sort of stuff, toys, all this kind of thing are actually, so this is what will be the strong driver for the mother and baby. But also, of course, maternity before and after birth. I think we just work with one of the nutrition brands that actually sell breastfeeding sort of supplements. They're doing extremely well. So this is also mother and baby before after. Mother and baby before after birth. Also young kids after 4 years old. Next one, please. Okay, so interestingly, food will be two things. One is the wine. As everybody probably know that New Zealand wine will be our next subcategory to push. But New Zealand wine can be more like white wine, more like rosé focused. But this is something that we will try to push. New Zealand red wine, white wines is something that we're gonna push from this year. And then, but other than that, I think honey, we have honey, we have Manuka honey. So I think functional sort of food is becoming more and more popular. You have to build that trend. Supplements, they don't want too much ingredient. Food, they want more ingredients. So functional food is somewhere in between. So this is the category. This is the opportunity that a lot of people, they just want to sell honey, similar to everybody else. Nobody is going to buy. So this is something like in between. More premium pricing, better for logistics and everything. So functional food is something I would sort of pick up as the quickest growing potential for food. So I think that's everything from my sharing. So we will have a Q&A panel, so just feel free, or after this, talk to me, and then if you're interested to know more. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Thank you very much. Yeah, you can give it to me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we'll have 15 minutes tea break. During this time, feel free to network. Okay, so again, regarding to the incubation selected brand, please talk to Kevin. Regarding to the Timor Global, talk to James. Okay, so I'll see you back here in 15 minutes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to move on to the second part of the event. So now, please take a seat. Thank you. 各位来宾，我们马上要进入到我们今天活动的第二个部分，所以呢，现在再次请大家回到座位上，谢谢。Now, ladies and gentlemen, please take a seat again. Thank you. Okay, so again, just a kind reminder because we are doing live streaming here. So for this path here, ladies and gentlemen, let's try to make the path clear so it won't block the live streaming. All right, ladies and gentlemen. This year marks the first anniversary of ANBA. And here comes the cake cutting ceremony. As we all can see that we have a beautiful birthday cake here to celebrate the first anniversary of the association. And now I would like to invite Kevin. I can see you are texting, but you have to come and join us. So Kevin, the CEO of ANBA, and of course, Mr. Ben Zhang, founder and director of ANBA. And may I also invite Mr. Jason Mears, CEO of Option Fund Management, come to the stage and join us. All right, gentlemen, I'll make some space for you so you can take a photo first. Okay, so yeah, I think I should come here. All right. All right, so photo first. So Option Fund Management has recently invested in ANBA. The cooperation of two companies will keep focusing on bridging Australian New Zealand products with the Chinese market in the most cost-efficient way. All right, gentlemen, now I'll make you cut the cake. Yeah, together. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to ANBA. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Congratulations to ANBA. And thank you, gentlemen. One more photo? Oh, that's good. Okay, so pose for a picture, gentlemen. This is definitely a memorable moment for the association, the investor, and all the partners. Okay, very nice photos, Landis. Thank you very much, and thank you, gentlemen. All right, actually, Kelvin, I think you can remain on stage because I'll invite you come back again soon, and we'll give some time to our team member to clear the stage for us because the next session, ladies and gentlemen, we will do the Taobao Global Selected Brand Signing Ceremony. All right, so we'll need some time to set up the stage. Okay, and Kelvin is on stage now, and I would like to invite Mr. Fernando Rodriguez to come to the stage. Did I pronounce that right? Perfect, thank you. All right. Okay, so two gentlemen, you will host the signing ceremony. Nominated by ANBA, EZZ has been successfully selected as 1 in 10 brands by Taobao Global. And Fernando is the CEO of EZZ. All right, gentlemen. Okay, please hold on there. We would like to take photos for this important moment. Do you want one more with shaking hands? Yeah. Okay, great, thank you. And Fernando, I think you should remain on stage. And Kevin, thank you very much. Yeah, he's a good friend of us today. Like, I see him everywhere. Wherever I go, he just follow me. Yeah, I'm so lucky, right? And I'm not, yeah, I quite like it, actually. He's cute. All right. Now, I think, again, I'll give you some time, beautiful ladies. And Fernando, I'll give you some time to warm up on the stage and prepare for your speech. Okay, if you don't mind, I'll do a brief introduction for you, Fernando. Okay, so Fernando Rodriguez, CEO of ECC Life Science Holdings Limited. He has over 20 years of senior leadership experience across a number of industries, including skincare. Well, all right, I'll do it again. Okay. So Fernando has over 20 years of senior leadership experience across a number of industries, including skincare and consumer health segment, both domestically and internationally. Under his leadership, ECC has entered into distribution contacts with major pharmaceutical groups and key customers, enhanced the brand position of Eron in Australia and New Zealand markets, and generated rapid growth with total revenue exceeding 70 million within the first 2 years operation. Now I'll pass the stage to you, Fernando.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'll be pretty quick, just explaining who we are and how we work with Taobao and Tmall. So about us, we are a very different company from many others. What many other companies do is that they develop products that then they try to fit into the market. They get a product and then they find out or they wonder how we're going to push this and where. What we do is different, starting with the aim that we do for our products. So we aim for well-being, energy levels, longevity, anti-aging products, etc. And what we do is, in our strategy, we start the other way around from other companies. What we do is we gather information in order to understand what's trending out there. What are people's needs? What are they looking for? What are the demands of the products? Then when we gather all this information and we sit down with our manufacturing teams, we start talking to them saying, how can we satisfy these needs? How can we offer the products people are looking for? Once we start developing and manufacturing these products, we go one step ahead because we don't want just to reach what's trending out there. We want to be a step ahead. We don't want to be followers. We want to be leaders always in the market. So this way, adding the packaging, competitive price, being in proper channels such as Taobao and Tmall is the way that we can reach these successful strategies. Now, what should I? Something that we are very grateful for is that just before 6 months after launching the brand, we got this award. We got the fastest growing brand, which we are very successful on Tmall Global, and that is based on a very smart strategy that we have, and I will explain that very soon. Something that we do at EZZ is that we not only develop the products with some scientific results, we have a very solid team behind us. As you can see, we have 2 important research centers behind us. So these 2 teams and some more are helping us develop the products that we get in the markets in order to be successful with top quality. You can see New Zealand Gene Research Centre, the AUT Gene Research Centre, in order to provide us with the latest scientific results. Not only that, we work with very professional and well-known people in the industry, such as Dr. Fabrice Marian. He's a senior professor in immunology. So these kind of professors, these kind of well-known academic people in the industry are helping us back up the results of our products. So how about our products? What do we do? What is EZZ doing? Now, in order to have a widened variety of products, not just focus on one single segment, we not only focus on well-being products, we not only focus on sports nutrition or weight loss management, we focus on all of them. So some of our main products is the NMN that one of our colleagues was talking before. But this one, the advantage of this is, yes, the NMN is trending at the moment, but this one is 150,000 micrograms concentration. So it's the only one with this kind of concentration in the market at the moment. So again, you can see, yes, NMN is trending, but this one is unique within the NMNs. Now, another one is a very popular product that I would like you to have a look at. This is a video. So again, before they were talking about NMN is trending, and also the jellies and the gummies are trending. You can see another product here that is within those specs they were talking before. Now, this product that you just saw on the screen is called the mixed fruit jelly. This is for cleansing, detoxifying, and help for weight loss. So again, it's different from the NMN, it's different segments, but also very popular. Another one, also in a jelly shape. This is the Iron Plus jelly. As you know, there are some people out there with some deficiency in iron, some anemia, or sometimes women during the month, they lose some iron as well. So this product is very, very helpful during those days and for the people who have these kind of anemias and deficiencies. Now, what else we have out there? This is the Iron Plus, to explain to you a little bit, to get an idea what is this Iron Plus. So as you can see, the quality is important, the packaging is important, the channels are important. And now, how does EZZ work with Taobao Global in order to help the buyers to sell the products? As I mentioned in the beginning, there is a smart strategy that we work with. Something that is important for the sellers on these platforms is that they know what kind of products they're going to be choosing. It's important not to choose random products, but to know which sort of products are trending. Now, for this, they need to do their own research, which is the second point that we do for Taobao and for our customers. As I mentioned before, we gather the information about what are the likes out there, what are the demands, what are the trends, what are the needs that we can satisfy out there. Once we have all this information, then we can work on our products, which is that second point, and then Taobao will grab you, will take your hand, and will show you how to develop your stores, how to develop your products in their own platforms. And this is where Taobao and Tmall have helped us a lot. In order to give you some examples with this, our first financial year we did $11 million. Second financial year, $17 million. That is 52% in revenue growth. For that, we are $1.2 million per month and increasing. And this is based on this. So it pays off to do your homework, to gather the information that you need for your products, for your market, for your customers, in order to know what sort of products and what sort of needs you will be developing, or what needs you will be satisfying. So if you have this formulation that is helping you to be, a bit more successful in the market. Now, our expectations to work with Taobao and Tmall in the future are that at the moment, the trajectory is showing that there are more customers, there are more products coming, and we are sure that these two platforms will be increasing, will be growing, and there will be more buyers and more products coming into the market. So thanks to Taobao, thanks to Tmall, we have been able to increase our sales, to launch successfully our products. We know there's going to be even more competition out there, but doing the right homework will help you be successful in the future. So thank you, Tmall, thank you, Taobao, and thank you, ANBA. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you so much for your opportunity. Thanks for having us here. Thank you.
Thank you, Fernando. And congratulations to EZZ. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and the next session, I'm going to invite two beautiful ladies joining us to the stage, Michelle and Camille. So Michelle Gao and Camille Lin, they are both famous KOLs in China. They both have Taobao stores and they have a lot of followers. And today they're going to share some experience with us. Probably stand a little bit forward, Michelle and Camille. So firstly, can you introduce yourself and your store?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michelle. I'm a KOL for Taobao online shop, and I have been doing Daigou for 10 years. I have around 200,000 followers in my shop, and I sell baby formula and baby food, healthy food, and ski stuff. Yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Camille. I'm great to see you here today. I'm a Taobao shop owner and have been in this industry for nearly 5 years. Our shop, there are about 70,000 customers in 5 stores on Taobao and Alibaba. The main business for in our store is child care products and skincare, healthcare products.
Thank you. So could you tell us more about how do you sell your products online in China?
Actually, we have 60,000 customers on WeChat. If I have a new products, and I will post some information like picture, details, and introduce my clients. And I also do the live streaming every week.
Mostly we list our product in our store, and we do live streaming about 5 times a week. Sometimes we do sell promotion during shopping festival like 618, Double 11. We also do a share product post on our WeChat account. We have 6 WeChat account and about 30,000 customers.
All right. Okay. So there must be a lot of brands approaching you. Would you take all of them, or how do you select the brands you would like to collaborate with? Probably this time start from Camille.
We actually we are not take all the brand. We have our own selection criteria. Like we draw insight from customer active from our platform. Then we evaluate if this brand have potential to be success in China market. Besides the brand support is very important. Like we want to work with the brand. They want to supercharge their growth in China markets.
It's really similar experience. Actually, we didn't choose all the brand. We just, to be honest, we choose some famous brand because famous brands have a higher demand in market. And if I need new, I consider the quality first, and the price second. I try to give my customer the highest quality and the lowest price. And I will see if the brand give us any support, like samples, gift, and educational support. Yes.
All right. Thank you. So regarding to consumer groups, what is the major consumer groups for your stores, and like what kind of products do you find it most attracted to your consumers?
For us, I think the women in their 20s to 40s, maybe they are international, maybe they are in university student and young mom. So they are interested in skin products and healthy food and baby food.
Most of our customers are moms. They are spend big in the parenting and infant sector. They are very attracted by the child care products and skincare products.
Okay, can you give us some tips, like for the new entrants who would like to promote or sell their products in China? Can you give them some tips?
Good question. I think the new brand usually need to adapt and understand the China market. Like they need to adapt the packaging, pricing, content. Use Chinese media like TikTok, Red, Weibo, WeChat. Also, they should cooperate with the celebrity and get a good review from the media, KOL, and consumers.
I think the important things we need to know the Chinese culture. For example, I sell some Australian products to China before, and I received some feedback from my customers. They said the package is too simple. So I think if the package is good, it's easier to enter Chinese market. Yeah. And the second one, I think, is good market. The Chinese market is very huge, and they have millions of products. So the marketing is really important. And I think Chinese market is products by the, and I think the Chinese market are product. Sorry. Yeah. I think. Yeah, so we need to explain the different things to my customers, and I found this, and I found they more trust their friends than the advertising on TV. Yeah.
Okay, so by the word of mouth,
Yeah.
when they think the product is good, they will recommend that to their family and friends.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Michelle and Camille. Please back to your seats. Thank you. And let's give applause to the ladies. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now for the last section of the day, we'll have a panel discussion. And let me introduce to you the group. So we have James Sung, the Business Development Manager of Timor Global Alibaba Group. And of course, we have Kevin Zhang, the President of Australia and New Zealand Buyers Association. And Fernando, I'm going to invite you to the stage again, the CEO of EZZ Life Science Holdings Limited. hosting this important part, I'm going to introduce you my good friend David Thomas. So he will be doing my role. So David is the president of Australia-China SME Association. He has worked with SMEs from many industry sectors, including retail, professional services, financial services, manufacturing, healthcare, food, tourism, real estate, design and technology, particularly in environmental protection. With a 30-year career living and working in London, Hong Kong, and Sydney, David has provided advice, support, and guidance to both Australian and Chinese entrepreneurs, investors, and business leaders as they navigate the challenges, barriers, and opportunities of doing business and investing in both countries. Joining us on the stage, we also have Caroline Heath, the Business Development Director from, I tried to pronounce this right, is it Avengen, thank you. All right, so Caroline, she is a senior executive with proven experience in building brands and developing new business opportunities within Australia and international market. She is a commercial consumer brand marketer with cross-functional experience in sales and operation. She is also very experienced in all forms of communication, from traditional media to digital, social media marketing and PR, KOLs and events. And recent expertise in marketing and selling Australian brands to China through CBEC and multi-level marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to our panel discussion participants. Okay, now I'll make you take a seat.
Well, thank you, everybody, and thank you, Nicole. Sorry to take over your position, which you've been doing very well. So I thought this was a good chance for us to spend half an hour asking questions, because I know many questions will have come up. I don't want to ask all the questions, although I have a few. So this is a good chance for all of you to raise issues or questions that have come up during the session. So why don't we start? Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. Why don't we start by talking about what impact COVID has had on the e-commerce landscape in China over the last 12 months. It's affected all of our lives. How's it impacted this space in China? Let's start with you, James.
Oh, thank you, David. I think COVID, it's early on this year, I think Alibaba has been through quite a few sort of crises along the year. So early on in the March, sort of before COVID started, so we think, COVID, we need to help, people, get through it. But at the same time, there will be a business opportunity. We have to help small customers to grow, because offline will be suffering, and even China, even Australia. So I think this is something that we do pretty well during the COVID period. So I think during the COVID period, I think the most sort of significant growth will be, to be honest, will be the health category. They start from probiotic, start from vitamin C. We see a lot of sell-through, sort of events. Everything we got, we can't get hold of anything. So that's built a really good foundation. So people then start paying attention to smaller brands like, new one like NMN, like CBD, all this kind of, newcomers. They start to take place because everybody's looking for that health, immunized system boost kind of trend. So that builds overall a very strong, sort of demand traffic on the platform right now. So I would say this is number one thing. Taobao is one of the gateway for us to go to China, but somehow along the line, pricing wise, promotion wise, we didn't pay too much attention to it. Right now, a lot of traffic happened on Tmall, but I don't think that's healthy. So I would suggest a lot of brands working with Taobao sellers, everybody here, so we can bring that, traffic back. Yeah.
Oh, sure. I think COVID has impacted the
actually the growth of e-commerce in China. And because of COVID, in China we have this offline to online sales model, and which is increasing very rapidly. So it is a tragedy for human being, but it is also a very good business opportunity for the cross-border products and brands to enter and start a journey in the Chinese market.
Great. And actually, another thing which we haven't mentioned is that the Australian government is throwing a lot of money around in grants to Australian brands to help them with their marketing, and particularly SMEs. So there's, $30,000 type grant programs out there, which has all come about because of COVID, which we could take advantage of, and it often gets forgotten. And particularly in Victoria as well, there's been a lot of money thrown at Victorian SMEs. So I think actually COVID has opened up some new possibilities, particularly in healthcare, yeah. Okay, now let's talk about a common question that comes up about Australian brands. So we have a New Zealand brand here, so we'll be very interested in his perspectives. But to what extent is Australian brands being penalised or thought on less favourably as a result of some of the politics and some of the trade issues that are going on, which we all know about? I don't need to tell you. So how's a New Zealand brand taking advantage?
Thanks, David. Look, we are New Zealand originally brand, but we are based, our head office is in Sydney, so we're a bit of a mix. New Zealand, Kiwi, Australian brand. Now, what we have done is, in order to avoid these kind of situations, what we do is, as I mentioned in the research, we gather all the proper information in order to be successful, as much as we can, obviously. But all our products have a legal support. We comply with governance and TGAs and all the proper requirements, not only to comply in Australia, obviously New Zealand, obviously China as well, because we not only develop the products to be local, we develop products to be worldwide. In order to do that, we need to comply with a lot of regulations from the very beginning, so we don't have hiccups later on. So we haven't encountered any of those issues lately. Fortunately for us, we have some experience with e-commerce and cross-border channels in order not only to go to mainland, but other Southeast Asian countries. So we have taken leverage of these channels in order to set EZZ pathways to follow and hopefully continue being successful. So yeah, that's a strategy that we have followed in order to avoid these kind of hiccups and bumps. I don't know what do you guys?
James, what's your perception of this? Do you feel that Australian brands are finding it harder or easier or the same?
Well, for us, it's really just, we can't actually have a lot of big promotions, live streaming and everything, just talk about Australia. This becomes something very sensitive. So we're trying to avoid that. I think other than that, all the e-commerce platform, cross-border warehouse, everybody else, it's sort of, holding back. So I think New Zealand, really sort of took off, using this, people was like, supplement, they want a TGA, right now they want New Zealand. So I think this is something that I think New Zealand brand did really well. But they actually been, working a long time. As I said before, they have Aaron, all this kind of thing. So this is a very, very unique opportunity for New Zealand. But, this is something we should pay attention to. Yeah.
I think it really depends where the brand is on its journey. If you're a brand that already has an established business and you've got the right channel and you can sell through WeChat, it doesn't matter. From my understanding, there are a lot of brands that have continued to sell incredibly well, but there are some key categories that do suffer, wine being one of them. But for health and beauty, my understanding is that the demand is still there. The consumer still has the and that the government hasn't said to the Chinese consumer, don't buy Australian. So I don't see it as an issue. I think one of the things that I just want to point out to your previous question was what's happened to the Daigou. Because traditionally the Chinese market has been built from having this very, very strong Daigou market, and now half of them can't travel to Australia and they're not studying here. And I think, to me, that's the biggest impact that I've seen from COVID, and of course you've got to marry that with this market is changing so quickly. You know, you go back 4 or 5 years, you pretty much couldn't do anything wrong. You could find someone who'll take your product with no risk and sell your product on Tmall and Taobao, and now you can't do that. Now you actually have to be very clever and work at your strategy and how you're going to build that business and how you're going to invest in it. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. No, very good point about the Daigou. It's nice to have 2 lovely Daigous here today, but you're right. It's certainly changed that market. Okay, next question is around clean and green. So. Oh yeah, yeah.
I think you, sorry, what's your name? Jason. Jason, what are you talking about is about many different segments, and I'll try to respond to all the segments you're saying. One, in regards to side effects, obviously we are working with local manufacturers where the products that we are making or we are developing are based on scientific results where obviously we'll try not to encounter those sort of things. There are not just random products produced somewhere else overseas. They're produced here, and we have all the proper documentation for them. Talking about ECOMMERCE, not other brands. Now, I don't know if you know this, but in China, the opportunity for vitamins and supplements as of 2019 was $59 billion opportunity, which is a pretty decent sized market. So this is why, based on this consumer health segment, the vitamins and the supplements are the biggest market share. So hence, we are developing these kind of products. Now, when you target not only local market, but also overseas and mostly China, as you know, and as someone mentioned before, in China, before they didn't want the organic, the natural products, which is a trend that now is changing. Before, a long time ago, I guess, they were looking more for the traditional Chinese medicine, etc. Now that is changing. So it depends on what segment and what product you are developing and targeting in China. Also, the demographic. I guess at the moment, some of the younger generations are looking for more Western sort of products, less traditional medicine, more what's trending, NMN, etc. So these are the kind of products that ECOMMERCE is developing locally with local ingredients, scientific results, the latest technology, competitive, price competitive. So we are targeting this market with a proper documentation, packaging, like someone mentioned before as well. So this is what we're targeting, and we are not just lost in a 1.4 billion market to see if it's going to work or not, you know. So we try to gather this information together in order to try to make it as successful as possible, if that answers your question.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Next question from me. So clean and green is often the words we tend to associate with Australian and New Zealand products. But unfortunately, everybody's now clean and green, so it's no longer a competitive advantage. So how do we use our clean and green credentials and take it to the next level so that Australian and New Zealand brands can stand out in this space? Who'd like to go first?
I think clean and green is just a word, so we have to define clean and green. As I hear this question, I thought of an example of Shea Scrubs. They do baby shampoos and baby wash products, and their slogan is their slogan was clean and green and organic. But if you search organic, clean and green on Taobao, everything is clean and green. There's nothing that's not clean and green at this stage. So we discussed with them said, why don't we give clean and green a definition that what is clean? What is the standard of clean and green? So the founder of Sherry Rub Drops, 72 years old, Stephen, he took the bottle out and he drank the bottle up. So he said to me, my clean and green is something that I can drink, so the babies can also drink. So if accidentally the baby drink my products, it will be nothing harm will be happening to me to them. So we took this idea, and when we launched the products with the Daigou shops, and we launched the Tmall store and other platforms, flagship stores, we took this slogan that Sherry Rubs clean and green is at a level that if accidentally your baby just ate it, nothing harm will be happening to them. So I think clean and green was just a word, and we have to give a word, a definition that's suitable for your products. So that's my opinion.
Yes, thanks, Kevin. I think I totally agree about what Kevin just said. Clean and green. We say, for example, using my category, health supplement category, we can't eat green, we can't eat clean. So that doesn't mean anything. So I think there's a lot of people, going to China. I think I studied a long time for why some brand go success, why some brands not. I think there's a simple logic you have to follow. One is you have to understand which category you're in. Okay, so if you're in probiotic, so that's your category, that's your battlefield. Are you number one or number two in probiotic? That's number one thing. Okay, you can go through that route. Second thing is, if you're probiotic, maybe you have gut health, you have mouth, you have nose, everything. So are you the leader in that sort of segment, like we call subcategory? Okay, the people, the more premium, the people go with pricing and everything. So I think that's the main focus you should do for your brand. Understand your category. Are you the number one? Compete not with Australia, with global. Compete with China, or compete with Japan, US, Korea, and then add that green and clean kind of concept, because we are from Australia, so it adds some value to it. But it doesn't add value when you don't have that advantage built in the foundation. Yeah.
I'll just add just a couple of points. I think from my perspective, provenance is a really big proven way to demonstrate clean and green, particularly if you've got a key ingredient that grows only in Australia specifically. So, I guess New Zealand have Manuka honey, the leptospermum. We actually do have that in Australia, but you're famous for it. But there's the Kakadu plum. There's a whole lot of other ingredients around Australia that have efficacy, that have value, and can do great things. And I think then it's taking ownership of that. And I think James' point, you have to be famous for something. So you've got to find that one hero SKU. Just focus on that and make that successful rather than trying to sell everything.
Good. This is good, right? Everyone's getting something here. Good. So marketing. So we hear a lot about marketing in China. Oh my God, live streaming, holograms, all kinds of crazy stuff. They've got 5G, so everything's amazingly fast and they can do incredible things. So bearing in mind we're still living in the dark ages here in Australia, how do we keep up to date with all that? And what are the things that are happening we need to be across? Kevin.
Well, I think if we talk about marketing, then we have to talk about budgeting. So, marketing is something we have to do, but I think we just don't compare our shortage to somebody's advantage. For example, when we reporting our products, our ANZ region's products to Taobao Global's headquarter, we always being competed with the products from Japan or from the USA. Said we're going to spend this much money this year and we're going to achieve these, but what we can see was very limited. So which will give Taobao Global's HQ, give Tushan these people to put more attention on these big players rather than us. So what we came up with is with $1,000 you can do $1,000 thing. With 1 million you can do 1 million thing. So we just keep continuing doing our things. We all know that 50% of our marketing budget was wasted. We just don't know which 50%. With ANBA here, we're just trying to not let that happen. We're just trying to keep maybe 5% or 10% of the marketing money was kind of wasted as a market feedback. But we're trying to focusing on building up the trading channels instead of doing marketing first, because if we don't have more trading channels ready, then all we do marketing is just putting the traffic into 1 or 2 stores, and that doesn't make any sense.
So you just raised a lot of money, and sorry, you've raised lots of money, so you've got a big budget now. So what can you do?
Look, it is true that when you talk about marketing, you spend $1 and you want 10 in return, right? It is very different, like you mentioned, the marketing you can do in China with KOLs, influencers, etc. And also the cost for these influencers is very different from what you get in Australia with it's not the same to get 1 million or 2 million followers in China and pay for it. Like, what's the name of the guy with the lipsticks? Li Jiaqi or something? Yeah, it's not the same to pay for him than an Instagram influencer with 15 or 30,000 followers, you know. So it is very different. We need to adapt. I guess my recommendation to brands is whatever channel you're going, if you're going to be targeting pharmacies, for example, you need to focus probably more on catalogs, more on magazines, more on a different sort of media, because Kevin was right. You need to be smart on where you're going to spend your marketing. You don't want to waste money on digital when you're going to go on a more printed, more mature demographic, more retailer, etc. So you need to know not only your product, but you need to know your market in order to know which channel you will use in order to target with your marketing. And again, whatever dollar you put in, you need to get at least 10 in return. So what do you think, James?
Yeah, great. Well, I think, I might not be the best person for this question, but you know, to be honest, I'm not a big believer of a percentage of marketing you have to spend in China, because I've seen people spend, you know, millions of dollars on Singles Day and they didn't pan out. I've seen people spend little money, you know, but it works really good. So I think, you know, the logic behind it, I think is really, you know, I think work with the channel. Say, for example, Tmall, okay? Tmall, you have to build your keyword. You have to work with your live streamer. You have to have a good TP. You have to understand Hangzhou. You have to understand what promotion strategies they're throwing. So a lot of things on Tmall, you do well, you get that sales. Those are the marketing. Something, a lot of people saying, okay, I'm gonna invite a celebrity endorsement or whatever. But if they doesn't connect with Tmall, it doesn't work. So I think overall, that's one thing. Work with the channel, work with Taobao. Ask what they need, ask what margin they need, ask what, you know, traffic you can buy traffic for them. So every channel, I would say, you know, target one each and then make your progress there. So that will be my take for marketing.
This is the big one. Yeah, no, I mean, look, I've worked on 3 brands in China, some that have grown from 0 to 35 million, some that have grown to 1 million, and now I'm on a new journey, a new brand, and each time I go into the market, it's harder, and it takes more money. So, look, my recommendation, my thinking right now is you have to do a certain level of foundation marketing. You have to make sure that if you're going to sell a product in China, that the consumer can search for it and they can find it and they can find reviews. So, and that just takes some time to build. So you've got to start almost slowly, and then when you know you've got a good product, when you know you've got a good message, when you know you've got something that can work, then you can amplify it. Then you can put some bigger money behind taking a risk and getting a KOL behind it to amplify the message. But it is risky, and don't expect to make money in the first year. It's back in the day you could. These days it's a little bit more difficult. So it depends whether or not, you know, you've got people behind you who are prepared to invest, or whether or not you need a return on that investment in the first year. But either way, it's either go slow or go slow and then go hard, in my opinion.
So when can you make money, right? We're always having the conversation about money. So how long does it take?
I think what Karen said is right. Especially nowadays, first year it's very hard to make money. I think second year payback time, and third year grow big. So that's our strategy. And also one more thing about marketing. I think people always got confused about marketing and sales. I think the only difference between marketing and sales is when we try to sell something, then the easiest way to sell something is to give discounts. So that's how we have Double 11, we have Double 12, we have Black Friday, Boxing Day, because people will be very happy to purchase something at a price that very lower than the prices than the product's value. But in terms of marketing is helping the products to be built, which can be considered as a double the price. For example, if the product was $10, then marketing is helping to build the products to be look like it was worth $20. Then when people will be happy to pay like $15 or $13 to buy it. So I think in terms of marketing, we have to be understanding that what kind of marketing we are doing. If we're doing brand marketing, then we're here to build up the brand value, not the product's value. If we're here to do trade marketing, then there might be something of conversion rates of sales can be calculated with the distributors or with the platforms.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk about 11/11 because it was very different. James, it was very different, right, last year, and it was run over a longer period, and it was a lot of changes were made. So what have we learned from 11/11 last year that's going to affect shopping festivals in the future, including 11/11 this year?
Well, thanks, David. I think David was spot on. I think last year actually, Double 11 we run longer. We give more time to pre-sale. We make more time, to prepare and everything. I think that's a lot of consideration putting together to make this become a result like this. Not because we need more GMV, because a lot of people, we can have more time to prepare the product, inventory, logistic-wise. Last year, the year before, or even 2 years before that, we have a crazy logistic issues, like people don't get the product for a few months. So this is really sort of divide the traffic into a different time, different sector, so people can take their time, understand the promotion, and then sort of spend the product. I think in the future, at the moment, we are building more and more things like Singles Day, because we don't want something to just happen in that day. It's more daily. Okay, what happened December? What happened, January? What happened February? So we wanted to separate that, so sort of, people don't compete, too much pricing, and people can have their different advantage. Even countries, we can have different countries. Right now, Australia trying to build a Boxing Day, after Christmas. So that will be a promotion we're trying to build as well. This is what Tmall good at. We're good at building promotion day. We build our own IP. So I think this is the trend, that the future that we're going. Yeah.
So more festivals.
Yeah. More different dates. Yeah, different. First of all, different event, different date, different products. So, for example, 8th of March yesterday. It used to, I think 4 years ago, it's just sort of minor, medium size of promotion. But right now, 8th of March, it's really, really big. And then when you have that successfulness, you can go into 618. So it becomes like a linkage bridge. Like eating a course, entree, main course, and Singles Day. Yeah.
Hey, Jason. Look, I'll answer that based on what Carlin and Kevin said before. You could pay $1 million or $5 million for someone very famous to endorse your product. However, if you don't have any feedback already about your product on the internet, when this movie star, sends a poster or comments on your product, and people start looking on either WeChat, Google, or Weibo, or whatever it is, and they don't find anything, your product is not going to go anywhere, even though you spend all that money, you know? So, like Caroline said before, this is a trend that is slowly, you need to build within different platforms, and then when you're ready at certain stage, then you can, exactly, you can pay this money, and then you have this sort of foundation and feedback on comments, and it's some sort of recognition in the market where when you pay this money to this star, they can look at your product and say, I'll give it a go, rather than, what is this new brand? No, I'm not going to risk it, you know? I don't know if you guys think different.
Yeah, I think so. I think the same thing.
I think the go slow is you've got to get reviews. You need as many people as possible to review your product to give it a 5-star rating or a 4.3 or a 4.8 or whatever it might be. And you can buy those reviews. You give your products to key opinion consumers and they review it, or you might give them some money, and then you've got people who you're selling to who will also review. And in China, I must say, you buy anything, every consumer buys something in China, they do a review. Doesn't happen in Australia. But it's very easy for them to write shit reviews, in which case then you've got to make sure that you've got more positive reviews than negative reviews. And then ultimately, you don't want to put any money behind a brand unless you know that the product is right for the market. It fits the consumer need, which you guys have done quite well. Like for example, there was, I used to sell a shampoo brand called Akin, and it's a #2 natural skincare, hair care brand in Australia. It's been in the market for a long time. We built that up, and then we put about $350,000 behind a celebrity of some sort. So not in the millions, but a decent figure. And in the end, it did okay. It kind of lifted it up. We got a little jump in the sort of benchmark. But the problem was, in hindsight, product actually wasn't the best product for Chinese hair. So really, it wasn't like, it wouldn't have been the right product or brand to have put that money behind. And as another example, there was another product that I was working on, which was a skincare product, beautiful on Asian skin. They loved it. And what they did is they compared that product to La Mer. And if anyone knows anything about skincare, there's not much in La Mer. So they were able to demonstrate very effectively that this product was a very good product, and they knew that the Chinese would love it. Then you put money behind it. Then you know that you're going to get that response. Otherwise, you can't. I guess you can't promote something that's just not suitable for the market. It doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be, but it does help. So there was Fang Bingbing, who was the golden woman who could promote anything, and it would just overnight turn the product into, millions and millions of units. But it's not like that anymore. And I think you've also, the celebrity needs to be right for the brand, ideally. There has to be a fit. It's a short-term way of building awareness and making your brand popular, but you have to make sure it's a lot of money. It's taking a bet. You take it a bet. Yeah, it's no different to, I used to work in children's marketing, and it's no different to taking a brand and attaching it to a licensed cartoon. That's what KOLs are. They're endorsing your product, and they're reaching a huge market. And whilst I'd say the market knows and understands that it's paid for, they don't care, because they're obsessed with these KOLs. Anyway.
Okay, we're running out of time. Last question, and I'd like a different answer from all of you. What's the worst mistake you've ever seen anyone make in China that we can learn from? Go on, James. You start.
This is surprising question. Okay, so yeah, the worst mistake Well, technically, I see that pretty much every day. Don't stay in the middle. If you stay in the middle, you are not in advantage of premium brand putting a lot of marketing, ingredient, everything. You're not able to compete with a lower pricing brand that can go as low as they can. So stay in the middle is somewhere that I don't encourage. Okay, so if you want to tell your brand story, you have to sort of package around it. A lot of people, they come to me, say, okay, my brand is better than Swiss. I have better ingredient, I have, triple the dosage and everything. But, how come? I don't get that successfulness because they have, 100,000 times, of Daigou pushing, 100,000 times of different channels, pharmacies, celebrities, all this kind of thing combined together. Ingredient is just one matrix. So, two things. One, don't stay in the middle. Second thing is, you have to analysis with a lot of metrics and build strong everywhere.
Bye. All right, that'll be not doing your homework, not understanding the market, not having the right channels, not knowing who you're going to sell it for. Just like James, I worked with many brands before, and there were many brands who said, okay, I'm going to do this VIP product. Okay, good. I will be doing this, say, baby balm, okay, for $99. What's in your baby balm, well, it's very good quality. Well, yeah, but people buying baby balm for babies, they will not be spending $100 for their babies, even though they were saying, but you love your babies. Yes, but you cannot spend the kind of money anymore. So you need to understand that it has to be a harmony between the pricing, the channel, the market, the influences, the marketing that you're doing. Everything has to be targeting or according to a certain way, So again, you cannot focus on a VIP product that you're going to be selling very cheap, or a normal product you will be selling very expensive. So you need to gather all this information as in the needs, the likes, the trending. You don't want to be selling, for example, I don't know, some product now with only, for example, goat's milk. That's something from the past. So you need to be very up to date on what's trending, what's happening, and in order to do that, be very careful, like Caroline said, have very solid steps and spend wisely in marketing and in the research of your products. What are you, Kevin?
What's the mistake was hesitation. I think I've seen so many, and there's one. So your NMN was developed in 2 years ago and bestseller in last year. And your brand, they developed their NMN products way before you guys. But until last Singles Day, last Double 11, when you guys hit the bestseller of Tmall, they're still waiting for their products to be made from the manufacturer, because they wait for so long time. They were waiting for somebody else to make the first step and see how the market goes. They make changes to their packaging for three entire months. They keep communicating with us about the brand strategy and marketing strategy. They said they want to invest this amount of money in brand marketing, but they want distributors to buy the products because they invested their money in their brand. So which doesn't make any sense to the distributor. So yeah, 10 months of time they didn't have them and products actually being manufactured already until these guys took them three months to become the best seller on Tmall. So now these brands still have pallets of products in their warehouse waiting to be shipped to God knows where. So I think hesitation is the worst mistake I've ever seen.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Carolyn, worst mistake?
Don't change an ingredient after you've got a hero product. So I had an example where one of the ingredients changed colour, and no one told the marketing team about that, or certainly the China marketing sales team, which was me. And I remember getting a phone call from Livia Wang, I think it was on 2 years or 3 years ago, saying, Caroline, we've got a problem. We've had 12 complaints in 12 minutes. And what ended up happening was one little ingredient had changed colour. You can't do that because they think it's counterfeit. But that wasn't the issue. The issue was it didn't actually dissolve onto your skin, and it's a skincare product. So I took that product back to the Australian team, and they rubbed it in their hands, and they said, it rubs in eventually. Like, what's the problem? And, you know, the China consumer is so intuitive, picky, anal. The packaging has to be perfect. The product has to be perfect. There has to be 3 years shelf life on it. Everything has to be perfect, otherwise they send it back. So we ended up having to withdraw 5,000 units out of China at our own cost. It took 7 months to reformulate. And that was almost a missed opportunity. But in the end, working with the distributor, we were able to really kind of, I think we shifted $15 million worth of product in 6 or 7 months because they really got behind it. And also they really knew then that they had a hero product. And the other thing I would say is, without a hero product, you don't have a business in China.
Ouch, that would have hurt. Yes, good. Okay, well, thank you. Please thank our panel. That's been really helpful. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. And I'll hand back to Nicole.
Stay here because now is the Q&A section. So I'll need to ask if we have any question, or you've already asked all the question you want to ask? And everyone is happy here? If so, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. And thank you, David, for hosting this very important part for me of the day. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, so again, on behalf of ANBA, I would like to thank you all for joining us today. I hope you all have a great afternoon. Now, if we still have some time left, probably you can talk to people around, and here comes the conclusion of the event. Thank you very much, and enjoy a great evening. Thank you.